couple days ago, I had a friend ask me if we could tie the Hornburg at the Fly Club meeting. And so, boy, the last time I had fished a Hornburg was clear back in my college days, which was over 50 years ago. And so I went back and did some reading on it and that, and it was developed by Frank Hornburg in the 1950s in Michigan, and it was made to represent the caddisfly in that area. Since then, the fly has taken on many roles. You can fish it as a dry fly, which this fly here is representing. As you can see, it has brown hackle, where the original fly had grizzly hackle, but just as many flies are being tied with brown hackle right now, and I think that the brown hackle shows up better in the video. The mallard flank, right now I'm using a mallard breast feather because I think it gives it a better dimension than the original flank, which came all the way out to here and was used kind of as a streamer fly. So you can use mallard flank or mallard breast to whatever you want the fly to be. The wing itself, I've seen these flies tied in natural, like this one is here, all the way to dyed purple and blue and yellow, green, any color you really want. The hackle is mainly in grizzly or in brown, and normally you will use jungle cock as the eye here, but I don't have any jungle cock, so what I use is a starling hackle and then just do a little painting on it. The hook I have in the vise is a size 10, but that is another neat thing about the Hornburg. You can tie them from size 2 all the way up to size 20, whatever you want to do. And as I've already said, you can make it a dry fly, or you can make it a wet fly, or even with a longer flank, use it as a streamer. For the underbody, I use a small piece of holographic tinsel, the small, and I wrap it down my hook. Now you can use regular, just silver tinsel, or something that I like to do also is I will take the flat silver tinsel and build my body up with it, like I'm doing right now, and then come back and wrap it with an oval tinsel as a ribbing, and that makes it look pretty neat. For my underwing, I'm going to take a section of yellow calf tail. So I'm going to take this calf tail and I'm going to measure it out so it's about twice the length of the shank, like that right there. And then I'm going to make a turn all the way around it and then tie it down to my hook shank. And that kind of holds it together. And then I'm going to make another turn around it. To help it to hold up into the air. That's really good. Then I'm going to take my scissors, and be careful here that you don't cut your thread, and lay it along the hook shank. And trim this excess calf hair. Like that. Then go ahead and tie this down all the way to the eye and back. And what this will do is this will give you a base for your hackle. Now take a mallard flank, or in this case I'm using the breast because of the size, breast feather, because of the size of the fly. And I'm going to lay this on this side of the fly. As you see, I've stripped away the bottom feathers. So you have a piece like that. And then I'm going to add one to each side of your fly. And see how it forms the tent-like wings? Like that. The next step is, as I've said, I use starling feathers, and I've put I think you can see it better there if I put it against the white. I put a white spot on the top of the feather, so I'm going to measure out about what I want here. About like that. I'm going to take this feather then. I didn't mean to do that, but it'll work out okay. I'm going to strip this off and tie that feather in just like that. Then I'm going to do the same to the other side. Then before I go any further, I take a little piece of dowel. Really what this is a chopstick that I've cut off, and put it into a pencil sharpener to about the size of the point that I want. And then I'm going to dip that in Tester's white enamel paint, to give me the white spot on the fly that I want. Another paint that you can use for this white and yellow is a Scribbles shiny white or shiny yellow. It is permanent paint. It's 3D, so it will stand out a little bit more. But it's easier to use because it'll go on and it dries rather. Now you usually want to let this paint dry, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and try and get this on without causing a mess here. So I'm going to tie my brown hackle in. And this is dry fly style. And as you can see, that's a big, guess I'll start over here. And then tie your hackle off. And that is my version of the Hornburg Dry Fly. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a like, and I'll see you next time.